What's up, family? Welcome and welcome back. I am Thatbaldbrutha, and this is the Said What I Said show. Today, we're going to be talking about Jonathon Majors, who you may have heard recently was in the news about his convictions regarding harassment against his girlfriend, or ex-girlfriend at this point. So as I watched some of the commentary videos online regarding the situation, I noticed a recurring theme, a theme about toxic relationships. Now, when I first saw the video of Jonathon Majors running from his girlfriend in the street, I guess it was New York or wherever it was at, I gotta be honest, what I saw looked like something that happens on a regular basis. I didn't see anyone doing any breakneck speed running like they were in threat or danger of their life. And when you got a woman running through the streets in heels, crossing into oncoming traffic, she ain't new to this, is what I gathered. Okay, because I would imagine a woman running in heels is not something that happens on a regular basis, and she seemed to do it like she was a Jackie Joyner Kersey. It didn't seem like this was something out of the ordinary for this couple. It just happened to be caught on video. Now, with that being said, going back to the original statement regarding toxic relationships and the importance of understanding what that looks like and being able to recognize the signs that you might be involved in something like that. Now, the story alleges that she tried to take his phone from him and he was getting his phone back. There was a tussle involved, and during that tussle, folks got hurt. Now, I want to get off the top and say that I don't condone, and no one should be condoning putting hands on anybody else. Man, woman, black, white, whatever. Doesn't matter. Because when you put your hands on other people, there are consequences. Be they public consequences and or legal consequences. The other thing that came to mind as I'm watching this out and everybody's trying to make it out to be a situation about a black man versus a white woman, which I think that's not really the case. Yes, the color is a factor, but however, I would ask you, if this was a black woman that he was accused of putting hands on, would you feel differently? On the one side, you have a black man being accused by a white woman, but on the other side of it, if it was a black man hitting a black woman, then it'd be a whole rip roar about how black men are always beating up on black women, always assaulting black women, all negativity going towards black men again. So I think we need to remove the color thing from it for the most part and focus on the nature of the situation. That if you're in an abusive relationship, you shouldn't be there. You need to get out of that. And then also there's a mental health component that's also showing up right here, because clearly both of these individuals, in my opinion, have things they need to work on within themselves. The behavior, some of the commentary, some of the texts and audio messages that we heard didn't sound like people who were operating coherently 100% of the time. So again, that's just my opinion.
And this week, that's over. It's over as far as Marvel is concerned. Marvel says, nope, we're done. We have cut ties with Jonathon Majors. Natalie, we're not building any films around him. We had several films in the works that we were going to build around his character. Kang, no more, because of his harassment charges and assault charges. He was charged, he had 4 counts. A jury, 6-person jury, found him guilty of 2, those 4 counts. So Marvel said that's enough. Megan Good stands by him, but Marvel is not.
Now, regarding the Disney situation and them making this choice to remove him from Marvel, which is disappointing, if I must say, as a Marvel fan. But I also understand, because a company, not just Disney, but any company out here, is not going to want to be affiliated with someone who is known for being abusive or violent or having egregious commentary or things like that. They might find that a little bit offensive, and will be well within their right to say, you know, we don't want to do any more work with you. We can't be affiliated with that.
And it is notable the actual charges that he was found guilty on. It wasn't the intentional, it was the lesser charges. In the grand scheme, this is actually a great outcome from him if you're just looking at it as in a legal matter and from a criminal perspective, in terms of what he was actually convicted of. So, his career is going to take a hit. A lot of people are wondering if he, will bounce back, if he will get mercy again, if he can, rise back up. And I think probably likely he can.
With the way Marvel was setting things up, he had a long career ahead of him. We saw them building up a storyline where he was the main character. There were movies and television series where he both made cameo appearances to let us know they were trying to tie everything together. So he had a long career ahead of him. It's unfortunate that it was cut short because of the situation with his girlfriend. But this is the price you pay when you play.
Yeah, I'm with you, Nat. I mean, again, you already mentioned that he got the lesser of the charge. So the situation that happened in the vehicle and stuff, he did not get charged for. And then what he did get charged for, it was based on, like, they weren't saying he was intentionally trying to put harm to anyone. But then there are people that were saying that, they essentially had a pretty toxic relationship and that he had psychological and emotional abuse to her and not physical abuse. And so, look, abuse is abuse. But my thing is when you are too big of a name at this point to be dealing with toxic relationships, at some point you have to say, where is the cutoff here and what do I need to do to move forward? Because I don't want this to mess up my career, particularly as a Black man.
Now, will he recover? Who's to say? I give it a year or so. Maybe we'll see him somewhere else, but I don't know that he will be able to get back to the level that he was about to become or where he's at when he walked out. And now going back to the whole black-white thing, since that seems to be a focal point in many conversations, I also want to remind folks about the Johnny Depp and Amber Heard controversy that occurred a few years ago, where Amber Heard was supposedly making bad comments about Johnny Depp, which affected his ability to get work in Hollywood and definitely had some damage to his career. The court came back and found out that she was guilty of defamation of character, of making false statements against him. And we learned through that trial, for those that watched, she was batshit crazy, doing all kind of wild stuff, all kinds of emotional and mental damage. Now, that's not to say that Johnny Depp was innocent. He too had his own issues that he was dealing with, be it substance abuse or what have you, but he was also guilty of contributing to that situation. But the whole thing was toxic. And again, it goes back to the overarching theme here, is that people get in these relationships and they don't know when to get the hell out. It's almost like some people crave toxicity. They can't function. They don't understand how to deal without it. Drama has to be there, or it's not, or it ain't working. Hey, I really appreciate you checking out the video. Let me know in the comments below your thoughts about the Jonathon Majors situation. And if you want to continue the conversation about toxic relationships, I left some links over here where I go into more detail.